minutes for people to get in. And I'm actually going to be working, so I'm not going to be smoking on this live stream because I'm hoping to leave this one to leave this one public. So we're gonna take a couple minutes. I'm gonna talk about some random things that are going on and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be talking about stuff that I hope you guys get to hear. So I watched a video today. Ah, cool. We got our first person here. Who's here? Say hi. So, but I want to wait till we get a few more people in because I kind of need to cover channel business. Apparently, about every few months I got to do this. So, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So, but every day that we're on trail, I end up doing a live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as we move west, hey, what's up, Scott? Nice to see you. Hey, what's up, Melody? Nice to see you too. Okay, so let's see. I watched a video today that was sent to me, and that finally made sense what was going on, Melody, with your comment about New York City. So apparently, New York City is really having a big problem with homelessness, and so it seems like anybody that doesn't. Hey, what's up, Bushcraft? Anybody that doesn't have the money to leave is pretty much going to be stuck there in the city. And I kind of understood that was going to happen anyways. I mean, what do you expect? There are people that can move and there are people that can't. So if you're one of those people, it's like, well, I just can't leave the city or whatever because I don't know. Hey, what's up, Melody? Because that stuff is it's going to happen in any and every city, big city, small city, medium cities. You're going to have that. That's why it's important to kind of have yourself a load up bag. Because here's the thing, when everything comes collapsing down and and people are looking at exiting the cities, well, you're not going to be able to take everything with you. And that's what a lot of people are doing right now because they have the opportunity to they have the opportunity to, get a U-Haul, relocate, stuff like that. But there's going to come a point when you can't relocate and you can't take everything with you. And, there may not be fuel or whatever. So you're going to have to, get on the road. And so for some of us, we'll be able to, get on the road and go pretty quick. And for others of us, we probably won't be able to get back on the road. Hey, what's up, Dekine? What's up, Cherokee? Nice to see you guys. All right, looks like we got a good part of the family in here. All right, so you guys saw a community post today, and I kind of want to give an explanation because, like I was saying at the beginning, is that it seems like every few months I have to cover channel business on this. And so I'm going to cover this real quick, and I'm going to do it with a story because, as you guys always hear me say, what you do to others, others will do to you. And so in some ways, I look at some of the things that happen. It's like, well, I was a jerk at one point in time. So, I kind of, this is, now I know what it's like to be on both sides of the coin. Okay, so a couple years ago when I was doing van life, I was watching this guy and he was sitting there and he did a nightly live stream, kind of like how I do here. Hey, what's up, Bucknut? And Butterfly Spirit, nice to see you too. And so, anyways, he just, I started watching his content. His content was good, but then he just got very arrogant and pompous. It's like, if you're not like me, you're just a worthless human being. You're just a lazy, da 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 da. And this guy just had so much hate and anger, and he looked down his nose at everybody. I don't know if it was the success he was getting from YouTube because, he was able to not only get housed up, but to be able to buy a nice house. He ended up getting into a relationship and all that stuff. And it's like, I get it. I'm happy for you, but, and towards the end of it, he was irritating me so much that, me being a dumbass, I kind of flipped on him. And I was like, and afterwards I looked at it, I'm like, I'm not proud of that behavior, but I did it anyways. And so instead of, continuing to go back, I unsubscribed and, I kept, trying to get the guy out of my feed and so on and so forth. And so, since I did that, now I kind of have to have the compassion and understanding from the other side of the coin. So this morning I woke up to a comment from somebody who's been here regularly, and it's like, okay, that's great. I know who you are. Apparently, last night she said something and she was upset that her comment got either deleted or timed out or whatever. I don't know what happened. There was a lot going on last night. It may a lot of things what you guys don't realize, and that's kind of why I showed that screenshot today, is that what you do on other channels. So if you're on another channel and you're being a jerk, well, you know what? It's your social credit score. It's tied to your profile. And so there, every when you go on to somebody else's, like for a while, Canadian Free used to always, I'd have to like go in there daily to approve his comments because it kept going. It kept going to the it kept going into the held for review pile, and so I kept going in there and approving it. But a lot of the times, what happens is that YouTube, because of either things you're doing on other channels or maybe somebody's made a complaint against you on another channel. There's many different reasons that YouTube can use to put your comment aside for review. 90% of the time, unless you're being malicious or you're a troll, I allow pretty much anything and everything to be said. And so this person leaves me a comment saying, hey, I liked you because there was no censorship. I got censored, and that's why I'm unsubscribing, and I'm completely disappointed in you. And it's like, well, first of all, you're accusing me of doing something. You didn't give me an opportunity to actually, sit back and have a conversation with me. And I could find out, well, what was the comment? And I could have given you a decent reason. We could have had a talk about it, whatever. But this person decided to get upset. Also, something weird happened last night after the live stream. Cherokee is telling me that my video was deleted for violation of YouTube policy, and I went through. I looked, I don't know, maybe this person made a complaint and it was quickly resolved because YouTube realized it may have been retaliation. I don't know. It could also be a glitch. There's a lot of hiccups going on in YouTube where things that shouldn't be deleted are getting deleted. They even had a point where you couldn't even update your channels, like the descriptions, titles, thumbnails, anything like that. You couldn't do that. Okay, so YouTube is having some problems on their back end. So in the event that you that you may feel like you've been censored or that you were treated unfairly, the correct way to be able to do it is just reach out to me. If you've been here for a while, you guys already know me, I know you, so we shouldn't have this whole thing of like, oh, well, you just didn't like me. No, there may have been a reason behind it, or it may have been YouTube, or it may have been an accident, but you guys are my core group, and we know each other quite well, so there's not going to be that animosity, and there's going to be a lot more tolerance for the things that are said by the core group versus somebody that's new and just kind of comes in and trolls. Okay, so that's kind of something that has been going on, and this isn't the first person that's done this to me. If you guys remember, I was supposed to be going to West Virginia. Well, the guy that I was going to go see in West Virginia and stay on his property, well, he blew up my phone and, ripping me a new one because he thought I was deleting and censoring his comments. And so he was just telling me what for. And I'm like, and all I did was send him a one word. I said, that's not what's happening, but if that's the way you feel, okay. And I never really said it to him, but I'm sure he understood, because after that, I kind of just distanced myself from him, because he would continuously blow my phone up with volatile stuff. And I'm like, I'm too old for that. And so, and so like every few months, something like this happens. And I want to be able to be out there with you guys and just say, hey, look, there's no point to get upset. I understand that there's a lot of emotions and a lot of stuff going, and the world is gaslighting us in various ways. Okay, it's not a party thing. It's just the happenings of the world. And so sometimes, even if we're going through and you have to be put in a timeout because you're just having a bad day and you're having a meltdown, well, that's not a mark against you or saying you're not welcome here or anything else like that. It's like, it gives gives you an opportunity to recompose yourself, put your adult pants on, and come back and join the conversation. Okay, so that's why we do that. And Jeremy doing what he does is a blessing, because it saves me my blood pressure. It saves me from looking like an ass on here. And like he didn't do anything. Nobody did anything, and nobody should ever feel guilty for it. Things happen. I've gotten emotional and then regretted it, and I will be just as tolerant with you guys if you get emotional with me as well, because this is a volatile time. It's kind of hard to keep your composure all the time, and so there is the human element. But as far as censorship, and I've watched what Jeremy does, and I'm beyond satisfied, because he's taking the trolls out, and that benefits you and the channel and the whole conversation, because those guys are being disruptors. They're being agitators. They're trying to distract and trying to pull away from the value that you guys are getting here. And those people have no place here in this channel. So on some sense, unless it's like malicious towards other members or towards me, or just something just really downright stupid, because last night the one person that I put I put in timeout, and I put this person in timeout for about 24 hours, was because it was like, okay, first comment, good, third, second, third, okay, now I got to the fourth comment, I'm like, okay, this is going too far, and I just put the person off to the side, because it's not worth being distracted to be able to do that. So we've had enough of a distraction. I wasted 10 minutes on this, but I wanted to make sure that for those of you that may feel like something like that's happened, just feel free. You've got many different ways. You can email me. You can come out through my messenger on Facebook. I mean, there's so many different ways you guys can reach out to me. I have no problem sitting there and settling it. And if at the end of the day that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel. But at least don't accuse me of something without giving me an opportunity to sit there and have a conversation about it. Okay, so let's go back to the comments and see everything else like that. Okay, so we got Melody, the Kind, Cherokee, Melody. Okay, what's up, Butterfly Spirit? Oh, and by the way, Bucknut, I've been laughing about that bite and stick thing that you said on. Man, that has made my day. I have been chuckling the whole day. Every time I think about it, I'm going to actually start using that. I might put that on a shirt. Don't worry, bite on a stick. It'll be okay. So that's the funniest thing I've seen in a very long time. Thank you very much. So, okay, still getting a hold of my son and Dayton about giving you a break. Yes, I fell asleep in the sun. My face is so burnt right now. So, what's up? Okay, All right, everybody's saying hi. What's up? Oh, hey, Mr. Orange, nice to see you. Yeah, so like that's why I named this episode Welcome to Tuck and Sam's, because this is, and I think I'm just gonna keep doing that unless I have like a specific message I want to share. I'm just gonna keep doing that. So I saw that also pulled. Okay. No, it didn't get pulled. I put it. It's unlisted. The only after the, okay. So after the live stream, probably about within 30 minutes, I put it into unlisted, and then I share it over on Patreon. So if you're not able to see it, like an hour later, it's not necessarily that it got deleted. Now, it's that I unlisted it, because here's the thing, I'm playing cat and mouse with YouTube, and I need to kind of stop that a little bit, because I'm noticing that some of the videos of mine that are getting released now, they're not really getting a lot of advertisers on it. Okay, I've noticed that in my videos, it's becoming a little rare, because it used to be right as you would go into the video, it would automatically put you into like a 5-second skippable ad. And then you would go into the video and you might see a couple of mid-roll ads, and then an end ad if you make it all the way to the end. But as of lately, I'm seeing mid-rolls, nothing in the beginning, and I'm not seeing anything at the end of it either. And I'm wondering what I've done to make YouTube mad. Well, it's not necessarily YouTube, it's their advertisers. They're like, oh, no. But you know what? What is it? Who was it that just declared? Rite Aid just declared bankruptcy today, which, if it's a Chapter 11, there's nothing to worry about. If it's a Chapter 7, then that's something to worry about. But a lot of these companies are going to be going belly up, and these are big companies. We've got banks that are imploding and things like that. So with all of that happening, maybe even the ad revenue for Google and YouTube may go down. But yet YouTube is one of the, even when I had my janitorial business, my best results were advertising on YouTube versus doing other advertisements. So YouTube is still a viable place, an extremely attractive place for most of your what do you call them, for your advertisers. Okay, so but it didn't necessarily get. Facebook is not letting me share anything from BoobTube. Yeah, well, there's probably a little bit of a conflict going on too. So YouTube auto removes comments without giving someone notification sometimes. Yes, but if you go, Mr. Orange, if you look in that community post, you'll see that I have a little thing where I can go in there and manually approve them. And then from there, once I get done manually approving those, what I go into is I click a button. It shows me hidden comments, which is the ones that YouTube isn't even showing me for review. But I still even approve. There's only been like maybe 3 or 4 hidden comments where instead of approving it, I actually reported the individual because the individual was being not just malicious, hostile, like making threats that were inappropriate towards my well-being, and I wasn't okay. So, but anyways, I only been with you for 3 days, and you have been extremely welcoming as well as everyone. Yes, of course. But like I said, sometimes we're having a bad, and this is even in the homeless life. See, most people don't realize that being homeless, you're getting bombarded by everybody. And so then all of a sudden somebody that's being nice and being kind comes up to a homeless person. That homeless person snaps on them or just, gets really rough or rude. It's not necessarily that person. You got to realize that there's a lot of crap that happened to lead that person to the point where they are upset, to where they're now lashing out at somebody that's actually offering them some sort of compassion and kindness. Okay, so it's not necessarily what happened here. It's what was happening beforehand that kind of exacerbated it. And just like when you pour salt on a wound, all it does is just make it worse. Okay, and so this is something that being homeless, I understand, because you have to be tolerable. Don't really look at it when you're dealing with a homeless person. It's not about you. It may be about some other things that are going on. People just won't leave them alone, or people are just doing this or doing that, or they're constantly kicked down the road, or they had a bad day and they weren't able to raise the money that they needed to raise, and so therefore they're just in a foul mood. Again, it's not necessarily you. It just has to do with the experience that was happening before you. You just happen to be that person that they took it out on. And I'm okay with it. And that's a large reason why I'm very tolerable about a lot of things, is because I understand that. And yeah, Jeremy, you were fantastic. You don't need to defend yourself. And I will defend your actions because I trust you. I trust you enough to be able to handle this for me. So don't take that as a personal attack. Like I said, it had something to do with probably what was going on before. And that was just kind of the one thing. It's like, woof, and sometimes when you're angry, you direct it at the wrong people. I mean, I'm sure afterwards, give her a few days, she'll be back. I know that I've been through that a couple of times where I've gotten mad at a creator because something that they said was just so wrong, and I was like, "Arr!" But then a couple of days, my head cools down. I realize some things. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, whatever. I go back, and that's the life of YouTube is. And that means that the creator's probably doing somewhat of a good job, because if you're not being agitated in a way that is helping you grow and learn and challenge what you think is the normal status quo, then you're getting value, but it's more entertainment value than something that is trying to help you grow as a person. So I fully expect that the things that I'm going to say are going to make people mad, but then give them a few days, they'll come around, just like in the homeless lifestyle. If you guys remember Leprechaun, him and we didn't like when I left. when I left Cincinnati, him and I were like, I was like, dude, I don't like this guy. But then when I got back, him and I, we just had a friendly relationship as far as, back and forth saying hi to each other, stuff like that, until he got out of line. I put him in line. Him and I were mad at each other for probably about 2-3 weeks. Then we made up. We became best buds all over again, because that's what happens. It's family, and you're never going to always get along with family. But if I don't know how else to explain it, but Jeremy, no, you're golden, man. Don't ever feel the need to apologize. One thing I learned from my old man, because being an NCO, coming from multiple generations of military, and having my father go off to BNOC in Fort Gordon, Georgia. He came back, and I asked him, well, what was the classes like? What did he learn? Stuff like that. Because as a kid, I was curious, because one day I wanted to grow up and be in the military, and I wanted to get a heads up on what was going to be ahead for me. Because my old man, he made NCO, and one of the things that he taught me about leadership through the NCO thing is just, you're there for the people that are under you. You have to kind of if like as an NCO, the officer's going to come down on the NCO. The officer's not going to come down on the enlisted men, because it's the NCO's job to be able to deal with his enlisted soldiers. So an officer's not going to go and deal with the underling. He's going to go and deal with his next in line. And then, as my old man says, shit rolls downhill, and and you just happen to be at the bottom. Okay, and so these are talks that NCOs have to have with their enlisted soldiers. Not only that, like if they're not able to afford food, or if they have a medical bill, or if the wife or child is in the hospital, as the NCO, is your duty and your obligation to go check on them, make sure that they're okay, bring them food, help them get their bills together. But then also, in that same sense, it's a teaching moment for the NCO as well. And so I ran my business that way. I run my life that way. And I thought it was one of the greatest examples that I could ever have as far as leadership goes. And so, Jeremy, there's again, I will defend you. Well, I'll just leave it at that. I've got your back. Don't worry about it. Okay. So don't. Yeah, you're doing a great job, Jeremy. I wouldn't have the peace doing this and the desire to keep doing this every night if it wasn't for you, because I just, the trolls would eventually just piss me off, and I couldn't take it anymore. So yeah. Well, not that kind of block, bushcraft. So, everyone like the video, please. Yes. All right. Let's see. All right. Am I that oh, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Oh my God, you guys are just wow. I don't know, man. We might be playing a game of spinning the bottle before the end of the night, Melody. So, Tuck, because your encouragement, I worked on deleting a bunch of the videos on my channel and starting on the rebranding. Well, congratulations. I don't know what encouragement I gave you. It's the great thing about brain damage. I don't remember things 5 minutes from now sometimes. So, but whatever I did, I'm glad that I was able to be of assistance. Anything that I can do. Also, I got to see a video. I think the guy was a prepper, and he was trying to act like a homeless person, and all he was doing was fear-mongering. He's like, yeah, you got your bedroll, and you got to watch out. People are going to come slit your throat and take your bedroll. I'm like, you idiot. No, they're not. They're going to wait till you turn your back or you're not around. Nobody's going to come do that to you. Okay, if somebody in the homeless community gets their bedroll, or whatever you want to call it, gets their sleeping gear, comes up missing, within the homeless community, we take care of our own. We will go make sure, there's an extra sleeping bag. Oh, here's an extra blanket. They'll give you something so that you have something. So the need to be that violent, that's just scare tactics. That's fear. Okay, and I kind of snapped on the guy, which I don't know if it was appropriate or not, but all he was doing is putting homeless people in danger, because now people are going to be afraid that, oh, I'm going to come slit your throat and take your stuff. No, we're not. We're not that type of people. Okay, maybe you're axe murderers, maybe something like that, but the only time you will ever get robbed like that, being homeless, is if you're screwing over your dope dealer or you rob the wrong person. Okay, so again, you earned it. Nothing happens randomly out here, for various reasons. Okay, nobody's just gonna come walk up to you and just slap you. Okay, somebody's got a reason why they're doing it, and you almost 99% of the time know why they're doing it. So to be able to accuse the homeless of doing that and putting fear in them, in the house community, in the prepper community, all they're doing is being part of the problem. I might have to go back and look at that video and share it with you guys if you guys want me to. Let me know down in the comments. Okay. Check out Scorpion. Okay. Hit that like button. Yes. Okay. If you speak Trump, Biden, and especially RFK Jr., it will give you lots of issues with Tube. Well, I tend to read my comments out loud, so I guess I just screwed myself again. I feel like I have enough of a support structure with the core group of people here, between some of you that are over on Patreon, those of you that are subscribed over at on my website for any content that I put out there, and I haven't had a chance to do that. I will be doing that shortly. With all of that, I'm not as worried about the censorship. I feel like a little bit less angst about it, because not only have I set myself up a plan B, because I know how malicious social media platforms can be towards content creators that don't fit the narrative, or that are doing certain things that cause the advertisers to go away. But you got to realize it's all about money. YouTube is really doing this because the advertisers are the ruling elite to begin with. So I mean, it is what it is, and it pulls the way it pulls. Okay, but as far as censorship and stuff like that, I think that I'm safe, in the sense that I could rebuild with you guys. A lot of you guys will come over with me. A lot of you guys will know what's going on with me. Okay, and so therefore, to have to rebuild and start completely over from scratch, no, I just may have to figure out a different way to do it. But as far as the way the content goes, I'm not. That's why I'm as spicy as I am on the live streams, is because I don't want to. I feel comfortable enough that I can get away with it, and not really feel the brunt of the consequences like I did way back in the beginning when I got my 4 channels deleted all at once. That was a nightmare. Okay, and so I'm over the shock of that. Plus, I got some other things going on, so I'm not really worried about it as much as I would have been 6 months ago. Okay, so have you watched the channel Adam Buys? Interesting story. No, I have not. What's up, Double? Your handle keeps changing every time. I know you are. Because I see you a lot, and I respect you for sticking around even though you disagree with me. That was nice touch, putting the bell right in the middle. Okay. 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 Guideline. Okay. So, what has been the best part of my day today? Usually I'm the one that asks that question. The best part of my day was reading Jeremy's comment about a conversation we were having. That's been the best part of my day, because like I said, it has had me chuckling all day long. And I'm going to leave it at that, because, but Tuck, what's your next mailbox? Keep in mind, mail in Ohio takes 4 days for something. I could overnight 9 a.m. on East Coast. Okay, so here's what the plan is. Okay, so when I was looking at the weather, it would say 95, but it would only make it to 90 or 91. So the Saturday is the last day. Tomorrow is supposed to be 90, and then it's going to be like 91 or 92 on Saturday. So we're gonna get moving tomorrow, but we're gonna try and leave around 6:30 in the morning. So we have about 5 hours, maybe 6 hours to make it as far down the road, but we have to stop around noon. When I can figure out how much distance we're making, plus with the 4 days, 3 days that we've been here, which it's Sam, like last night after the live stream, she ran around, got all of her, she's back to her old self. Very lovey-dovey, all that other stuff. But the thing is now she's bored eating, and she's eating me out of house and home. I mean, she got hiker hunger worse than I do. But you know, she's doing what she's doing. Well, I will keep you posted when the next one is, but it will probably be when I get around, God, it starts with a C, not Corinth. It'll probably be in probably the next week or so is when I will probably be hitting another mailbox. But I will definitely look into when my next stop is, and give you a few days to do that. So yeah. Okay, so all of the cool kids have a ball on the handlebars. Um, yeah, well, I don't want to get into that one. That was, I don't take it as an attack. I have thick skin. Good. That's good, because some people, they're well, you don't seem like a people pleaser, but still, yeah, I'll leave it alone. Okay, bushcraft, my legs aren't as strong for walking long distances and never quickly, but I can now walk a mile a day. This is going from a year of walking daily out of a wheelchair. Holy crap, congratulations. I know what it's like to be immobile for about a year because of my foot, and then trying to learn. Like, it took me just standing for 10 minutes was like, it killed my back. I was out of breath. I had to go sit down. It was embarrassing. Like, this from a guy that's normally walking 10 miles a day. So, but painful because of the way body held on. Yeah, I bet. So, okay, I digress. Okay. I have a song Bicycle by Queen stuck in my head. Huh. I haven't heard that one. So, but I'm not a big fan of Queen. Not unless I'm biting the stick. So, I ride my bike with no handlebars. Oh. Hey, bushcraft. My uncle, because I used to be Mormon, and I wanted to go off on my mission, and my uncle would always tell me, it's like, something they don't tell you in the church is when you come back from your mission, you're gonna be gay. I'm like, Uncle Wes, how am I gonna be gay? He's like, you've been riding that bicycle seat for 2 years. That's gonna change you, man. So, bushcraft. I used a trike to get around. Great for keeping weight off your back and no balance needed. That's a good idea. Are we talking about one of those motorcycle trikes? Or are we talking about an actual biking trike, like the ones that you lay down in? Those are cool. If I did a trailer, I would want one of those bikes, the trikes that you can lay down in. But no, my legs wouldn't take it. My legs can do the hills and everything else like that. They just can't do bike. I don't know why. I just happy no longer in wheelchair and can actually walk. Yeah, I mean, being immobile is kind of depressing. As a former pro skydive, I can say that I had to recover from a few injuries. Okay, do what you can every day and try to grow on it. You'll get there. Yeah, it's a slow process, but instead of looking at how little you're doing, look at where you were and where you are. So yeah, but it's really weird that you never use a seat, just an extra long seat. Oh my God, you guys are killing me. Oh, shit. This chat has gotten out of... Wow. My goal is to get strong. Okay, right is 30 to 6. That's going to take you a long while to get there, Butterfly. Okay, Jesus Christ. I had the mom, I won't be home for supper talk with Carol. I'm going through rehab tomorrow. Oh, congratulations. Because I saw your post, Joe, and good to see you. I saw your post about your last day of freedom. That looked like a good burger. So, but yeah, I was thinking that's probably what you're doing. Hey, is there any way you can reach out to us, or at least keep me posted, through email or whatever? Because I mean, I'd like to keep posted on you. Just even though you're in rehab doesn't mean we're gonna forget about you, man. So that makes a multi-tool. Okay. Well, yeah. Can't. Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? I didn't start this one. Hey, what's up, Fruity Pebbles? Nice to see you. So, uh, so Fruity Pebbles, I got a question for you. The rainbow, how come? Is it indicative? Because I know, like, you see the rainbow crowd. Like, is it like you go out to rainbow gatherings, or is it just something you like? I'm just curious what the rainbow's for. Um, but okay. Hey, what's up, DFH? Nice to see you. I'm going through alcohol detox in a medical facility. Yeah. I bet you're gonna look forward to that. So, Yeppers, Bushcraft, what's saving for? Okay. Speaking of stealing bedrolls, I always thought it was weird, homeless people getting shoes stolen. I'm not a germaphobe, but that shit's gross. Actually, Alfred, I've never had my shoes stolen. Somebody will steal your shoes if they're desperate, okay? Very, very, very desperate. But I've never had my shoes stolen. I've had people tell me, oh, yeah, keep your boots on the other side of you, stuff like that. But I've never had my shoes stolen. The only time I've ever had anything stolen from me was when I turned my back and I left it unattended. Okay, I've never had anybody, pull out a weapon and try and take my stuff. Now, being housed, coming out of a bar, that was different. Yeah, I got marked. That was not fun. Yeah, try being shit-faced when that's happening to you. It'll make you not want to drink. So okay. So word of the day is lying. Okay. Okay. Bushcraft make videos on stocking ammo before world. Okay. Hey. Did you guys see that little it's like a pocket library that I posted over on Patreon? I'm just curious what you guys thought. To me, it seems more um, like a handheld proxy server. So I'll let you guys look it up if you want to know what a proxy server is. It's basically how the internet is ran now, is through proxy. So I'm going on the street again after medical. What? That's stupid. If you're going through detox, the worst thing, it's like, here, let's get you off the alcohol so that we can put you right back in a situation. They will never make sense to me. It is what it is. So that's just stupid. Okay, YouTube will mess with you as far as your channel, but it can make yeah. I mean, it depends. Like, a lot of what YouTube will do, because I mean, Johnny Bravo gets throttled back and censored a lot too. I don't know if that's just a marketing ploy or if he's really serious about it. I know MD Creekmore was complaining about it, but I think he just kind of got burnt out and he self-destructed himself. I don't think it was YouTube. So sometimes I wonder, is it really YouTube, or is it just the burnout and the self-destruction and then the unrealized expectations? Because even myself, I got to question that. Is it me? Did I just make a bad video? Did I not title to script it right? Did I do something wrong? Oh no, it's YouTube's fault. I'm great. I know what I'm doing. I'm perfect. We all have that from okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I can't afford Patreon or to become a member, but I'm here to support on the tip. That's fine, Dekine. You don't need to be over there. And one day, things will change to where I can offer, to those of you that are regular supporters that can't afford it. We're a community, and we all I guess you could call it a commonwealth. In a lot of ways, in the sense that once I get to Patreon and I can get it up to about $200 a month in revenue, then it allows me to give away a membership here and there to certain people that deserve it, and so on and so forth. And as you guys being my core group, you guys deserve it most. So but it is what it is. So okay. Tuck, what's the shelter you're under? Is it a bandstand? No, I am at a church. Okay, so I am at the local church here in town, and this is where they have like the picnic table area. This is where we've been sleeping. They're like, don't leave a mess. I'm like, I'm not leaving a mess. I'll be good. And so, I haven't left a mess. I keep clean. I mean, nobody even really knows I'm here because where we sit and because we're constantly in the shade until about this time of night when I come out to do my live stream. But most people don't know that I'm here unless I announce myself, and I'm doing it right now. Hold on, Sam. Shh. Okay, it's probably some birds. We just heard something over in the... There was a dog that was wandering around. Sam, it's okay. Let it go. Oi, kick it down. Let it go. You did good. Now kick it down. Okay, we'll do some stuff afterwards. Okay, so yeah, we both heard that. There was something going on in the bushes, probably maybe 500 feet from us. So I'll show you. So over there is kind of where it was happening. That's if you guys heard it in the background. Okay, so but yeah, that answers that. Okay, okay, bushcraft. The price of freedom, it ain't cheap. No, it's not. Freedom comes with responsibility, and most people want the freedom without the obligations and the duties. Fruity, do you have a YouTube channel? Okay. More men. Yeah, more men. Yeah. That's actually what my uncle used to say to me. Yeah, more, man, more. Yeah, that's the church for you. More, man. Not cheap, generally around $15 for 20 rounds. Wow, that's a lot. I thought, grandfather who fought in Iwo Jima forgives me for a Japanese great-grandson. Ah, so you gotta, okay, well, forgives... Yeah, he's already, well, okay. Wear a pink tank top to make the video and get a cheap follow. Okay. Follows. Oh, okay. Tuck at regular pedal trike, lay down type is, God dang. This heat, I got burnt really bad. I can feel it. It's burning really bad. And then being right where I'm at, I gotta move. Ah. Damn, this heat, there's not as much cloud cover as there was yesterday. That's why we didn't move, but we're moving tomorrow. I'm not really giving myself a choice in that one. I have drop foot on one leg and impingement on the other ankle and can still ride several miles. Well, that's good. UFC casual. Okay, you're new. Welcome. Thoughts on the British government wanting to bring back compulsory service? Well, apparently they just passed here in the States that women can be drafted. So all those people that wanted to go for a sex change and go, well, I'm a woman, I'm not going to go off. Yeah, now you are. So, and all that equality that you wanted, here it is. You know, here you go. Republicans and Democrats both voted for it. So compulsory service is an act of desperation. It means that they don't have enough volunteers, and not only that, the United States military has been downsized by 75%. How much has Europe's military been downsized? Not only how much has it been downsized, fuck, I gotta get out of this damn sun. It's like it's right on me. Okay, so I may have to move over into the shade in a different area. Tell me if Jeremy, if you would text me if it starts getting choppy. Okay, but I got to get out of the sun. It is burning like hell. But as far as the compulsory service, it's a sign of desperation. It's an act of desperation, and that's just pretty much what the way it should be perceived. It means that we're going to war. If you listen to the guy from, hold on, I gotta get, Jesus criminy. It's like the sun is following me. I've never hid from the sun like this before, but it just burns that bad. So, okay, so, but anyways, as far as the British government wanting to bring back compulsory service, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. It's just more reaffirmation of what's actually going to happen. And NATO doesn't have the troop count. I think Putin just said he wanted, like, it was either a couple 100,000 or like 800,000 more troops or something like that. He's not building up for Ukraine. He's building up for the West. Right now, we've been doing an arms buildup for the last couple years, restructuring stuff like that, kind of, sending advisors in so we can understand how to fight this war, which, in a lot of ways, it's a smart move. But okay, good. Thanks, Jeremy. But I don't know. There's so much going on. There's so many different moving things. But, if you guys watch What If Alt Hissed, that kid is intelligent. He's like 22 years old. He's just a smarter, more well-rounded version of me. Because, I love history as much as this kid does. And he does some decent deep dives. And he's actually talking about how most of these countries, including Russia, China, United States, all of Europe, is about to erupt into civil wars, global wars, stuff like that. What he failed to touch on, though, is that this is part of a 10,000-year cycle. He's looking at the shorter 100-year cycles and 250-year cycles, but not looking at the 10,000-year cycle, because about 10,000 years ago, and we just found this out like maybe 5 years ago through archaeological digs, that there was an advanced civilization 10,000 years ago. But because of famine, wars, resources, and a global economic collapse, it caused them to go to a near extinction level event. Well, this is part of a 10,000-year cycle. So, but it is what it is. And I think that that's really what we should be focused on, is that this is going to be part of a bigger cycle. So instead of worrying about World War III and Civil War, you need to be ready to survive an extinction level event. Okay? But those are my thoughts. Maybe punk as kids stealing shoes to be dicks, and then, yeah, maybe. I was raised by lesbian hippies, and I'm a child of the 80s. I still have my Rainbow Bright doll. Dude, I love Rainbow Bright. Did you ever do Cabbage Patch Kids? My aunt was really big into Cabbage Patch Kids. But okay, so that explains that. Okay, so DFA Storm has had to be here and had said, thanks for asking. Oh, Storm, okay, yeah, love Rainbow Bright, Fruity, yeah, yeah. See, part of, I have a little bit of a feminine side, but it's not because I have high estrogen levels. My mom wanted a girl, and so therefore she kind of messed with me a little bit, and so that's why sometimes you guys see a little bit of a more emotionally astute or mature male compared to most, just because, yeah, my mom tried to make me into a girl. Like, if I would have been born at this point in time, I would have been one of those kids that would have been forced to go through a gender change, because my mom wanted a girl, not a boy. So yeah, but anyways, yeah, that's why I can talk about some of the girl stuff the way I do. Tuck, if I get out on trail before World War III breaks loose, I want you to try my e-bike game changer. Peaks at 28 miles, and I can make it 60 miles, averaging 18 miles an hour, no problem. Well, that's pretty good. Dude, if you come out on trail and catch me, I will, yeah, I'm more than welcome. Anybody that wants to come out and meet me on trail, like I said, just no drama, don't be weird. So, yeah, anybody, I invite you out. It'd be nice to have company and somebody else to talk back to me. I mean, I get the live streams and stuff, but it's a couple hours a day. So, but I haven't looked at it yet on Patreon. Yeah, okay. What do you do when you're on trail and there's a very bad storm? Well, it depends. If I got a good canopy like I've been going through, like, I mean, it was like flash flood rain a few days ago, but barely a drop of it made it down, so I don't worry about it. But normally, if like a rainstorm comes, I'm looking at the trees around me to make sure that I'm not around any widowmakers, and I'm just kind of keeping an eye on my surroundings to make sure that I'm safe, that I'm not gonna have things flying at me. And again, if it's raining, I'll set up the tarp, sit under the tarp, or if it's not raining that bad, because I mean, quite frankly, when you're walking and stuff like that, the rain, because you're always on the move, it never really sticks around that long. I see more rain in the cities than I ever see out on trail, because for some reason, I'm always out of it. It's very rare that I see rain. Like on the Florida Trail, I barely saw any. I don't think I saw rain at all the whole time. I don't even think I saw rain on the Alabama Road Walk. I didn't see rain until I got to Cincinnati or Chattanooga. No, Chattanooga. Chattanooga was like the first time I saw rain from starting from Gainesville all the way up to Rome, Georgia. So, but yeah, you don't really see a lot of rain, and if it is, it's very short-lived, and so there's no point in it. Now, as far as heavy winds and stuff, I haven't really had to deal with that, except for being on road walks. That's usually when I come across it, like once in Alabama, and then just the other day here when we had that 10-degree drop. So, you had two moms, so cool. I didn't even have one mom. Yeah, that is kind of cool. I talk to my dog like a human. Also, Mr. Tuck, she's grown on you, hasn't she? Oh yeah, I mean, I'm attached to my dog. I've always said I am. I tried not to. I tried very hard. I tried to be that grumpy old man that says, nah, we don't want a dog. We can't afford it. You know, keep it away from me while I secretly go pet it. That's me. Okay, and that's the relationship Sam and I have. To the outside world, they think, yeah, he's, this dog, but they don't realize, like, how much I give a shit about this dog and how much this dog gives a shit about me. We care about each other deeply. I see it in the way that she seeks out attention from me. And even I now, I used to be like, come on, dog, I don't need so much attention. Now I'm like, dude, you haven't come over for attention. I'm coming over there. And so, yeah, her and I have really developed a strong bond. But it takes some time. And all of you guys were right telling me it's going to take some time. So do you have any good ideas where I can sleep while homeless in Chicago? Anywhere in Chicago. It's a war zone from what I understand. So you can sleep anywhere as long as you feel safe. Here's the thing, they're not going to come get you on the street corner. They're going to come get you on private property. And if you're on private property or in a forested area, make sure you hunker down and you don't get seen. That's the really thing. It's just look at it from a vantage point. If you can see them, they could probably see you. Okay, so but the thing is most people aren't paying attention to what's going on around them, so it's much easier to be stealth even if you're really bad at it, because people are either in their phones or in la la land. They're not paying attention to what's going on around them. Even the cops are getting that bad, because my buddy actually took a cop's gun from him and then smacked him with it, called his CO and let him know what happened, and so that officer actually got suspended. So because the guy was too busy flirting with a girl at Starbucks instead of realizing my friend snuck up behind him and took his gun. So, but cops are just as bad at it. So, like there was a couple of cops over here in the parking lot next door, and they didn't even see me and Sam. I stood up. Her and I split a pack of hot dogs, and they didn't even notice I was here. Either that or they just didn't care. So, okay. Safe places. I've never been in Chicago. I will probably end up going just a little south of Chicago. I'm probably gonna end up taking the north. Do I need some aloe? Nah. I've had so many. I'm a redhead. I burn in 5 minutes. My skin is so used to getting burnt and then recovering, and like I left myself exposed because, again, I took a nap and then the sun just came right in on me and I woke up to it. It's like, ugh. So British Army hasn't been this small in 300 years. Yeah, because there's it's a vote of no confidence, UFC. It is really, it's a vote of no confidence. Because look, I come from 10 generations of military, okay? If I were 18 today versus in 1999, I would not join the military. Why would I want to join the military? And especially under Sleepy Joe. There's no way I would want to join the military. Under Trump, I probably would have joined the military because, he glorified the military. He backed the military. He made the military heroes. He made people proud to be in the military. But if you've got the left running the country, they don't want you to be proud running the country. They have no sense of duty, obligation, family, country, stuff like that. All of our core values on the left have been completely left for the craziness that we're going through. And it's sad because I am technically considered a classical liberal, which would be something like JFK. Now JFK today would be considered a Republican, but he was liberal back in that day. Okay, but and especially considering the fact he didn't want to go into Vietnam. Okay, and that's because the Democrats used to be the war party, the Republicans used to be the protester party. Then when Vietnam comes around, the Republicans protested it, but after that they just became part of the military-industrial complex. Okay, so I mean the parties keep changing who they support, but if you want to go back to classical roots, I would be a Republican of the 1860s, or I would be a Democrat of the 1960s. More of the liberal Democrat, not the Dixiecrats. There's a difference between the Dixiecrats and the Democrats. Okay, so I would have never been a Dixiecrat. At least I don't think I would have been. My ideology right now would not align with the Dixiecrats, but as far as time periods and stuff like that, you go with the sign of the times, you fit in. And at that point in time, in 1960, it was okay to be a Dixiecrat. It was a badge of honor. But less than 10 years later, the Dixiecrats were put in their place so the LBJ could pass the Civil Rights Act of 1967 that was originally passed in 1867. Okay, so you need some aloe. Okay, 300 years. Okay, but yeah, it's a vote of no confidence. Um, Handsome. Okay. In the 90s, we had Stronger Street Kid, Deadhead, Traveler Family, predominantly not on hard drugs. Then they made us felons for doing what we're still doing today. Keep on trucking, fam. Yeah, yeah, because I mean, you have your rainbow crowd, but yeah, the Deadheads, the there's a subgroup. They carried the hatchet. I forget what their name was. But those guys under Obama got named as domestic terrorists, and just for having a hatchet, because that was how they identified each other. But they were considered a militant group. They were just a bunch of hippies. Well, not hippies, beatniks. I was once corrected by a girl that I was dating because her dad was a beatnik, and she's like, "Oh, I want to be a hippie," and her dad explained to her that the hippies were the dirty, nasty, communes, like disease-ridden. The beatniks were the ones that had the jobs, but were still doing the hippie stuff, but they still, kind of had the responsibility. So, okay, so Tuck, yell into the woods, "Hey, Steve Wallace, I see you." No, I'm not going to be that loud, but that would be funny. Okay, Tuck, yeah, okay. Explains why you wear a thong on trail. Oh, I'm gonna leave that one alone. Oh, you guys are just having fun today. So, men do cry. Those that don't are assholes. Just my opinion. Melody, there's a lot more to it than that. When a man tries to open up and be emotional to a woman, what she will do is she will tell him how he's weak and pathetic and all that stuff, and she'll run him into the ground while she's telling him to show him her emotion. So he's being baited so that she can run him down. And so men traditionally have not been allowed to show their emotions. Now, the way I was raised is that you do not show your emotions publicly. When my dad's dog got attacked by those two Rottweilers, he didn't cry in public. He went into his room, he shed a few tears, he dealt with it in private, because that's the way men were raised. We had to be the strong ones. And so to say that we're assholes, it's no. We're raised that way. Our moms didn't let us do it. Our dads didn't let us do it. We were told you got to be tough as nails. If you cry, you're a weak ass, whatever. So there's a lot more to it, and it has to do with the way that we were raised. We're not allowed to show our emotions. Nowadays, they're called it's called the soft guy era. So Cabbage Patch Kids, Thundercats. Oh, I love Thundercats. Transformers, yes. Oh, dude, I used to actually have Castle Grayskull, Skeletor, He-Man, and what was the tiger that he had? I used to actually have that whole set growing up. That and G.I. Joes. My mom wanted a boy, so I completely understand. I'm the girliest tomboy. You know what, though? For this lifestyle, man, being a tomboy actually would benefit you, because you can't be a girly girl out here, because that means you don't want to get dirty and all that in the hot, and you want to be no. I haven't had a shower in probably about 5 days. Okay, the next time I'll get a shower is the next campground I come across, because I'll be getting paid here in the next couple of days. So, but yeah. Don't forget, you need best reception 7 days from now. Presidential debate Thursday. Probably only won this election. Yes. Keep reminding me the closer we get. Probably about 3 days out will be the best. So then it's easier to plan out 3 days than it is to plan out a week. Yes, Thundercats were great. Fruity Pebbles, you ever mess with Light Bright and Easy Bake Ovens? Oh my God, are we that old? Jeez. That's Okay. Ruin Thundercats with modern. I don't know. I never watched. I stopped watching cartoons probably around 92, 93. But I used to wake up and watch Ramblin' Rod and like I remember when like Disney having the Disney Channel was like you were a rich kid, just to be able to have cable. Like I grew up without cable. I didn't get to see cable till I was in my mid to late teens. So, okay. I loved Betty Spaghetti. I've never heard of that one. Yes. Okay. Actually preferred Snarf. Hey, anybody remember? Yes, I do, AG. And if you want to buy me a pack, apparently they're like $8 next door. I'm smoking rollies because of it. But uh, uh, anybody of you, how many of you guys remember the show Alf? Okay. That'll tell me how old you are. So, where am I? What's up, the Liverpool guy? I'm originally from Oregon, but right now I'm in Ohio. So, Sam's a great partner for you, Friar Tuck. I just saw something come in. I must have missed it. Yes, I would get out of Chicago, avoid all the big cities. Yes. Most people just sleep on the sidewalks in Chicago. Yeah. All right. Have 2 cops in my family. They do not allow. Yeah. Well, most don't. We during the boomers kind of lived the lifestyle of do as I say, not as I do. And then that perpetuated down to their children and then their children's children. And most Xers don't really appreciate that, at least the ones that I've come across. It's just, it's not, it's kind of irritating, the hypocrisy. And I think the millennials got really, really, really big on that. That's why they have the emotional problems they do. So I can send you a safari hat. I'm not going to wear a hat, guys. I'm if I do wear a hat, I'm gonna get it myself because I don't like things on my head. Just like I don't like carrying things. If I can't fit it on my back, I don't take it. And it's very rare that I'll ever have anything in my hand. And I'm the same way about my head. I hated wearing the cover when I was in the Marine Corps in boot camp. And I don't like wearing hats. And I will wear a hat out of like sheer necessity. But I will, if I get a hat, I'm going to feel okay that as soon as the clouds start coming back and we go back to normal weather, I'm tossing it in the trash, moving on. So I don't want you guys to spend your money on something like that because it's not going to be, something that I use on a regular basis, and I'm willing to suffer the consequences, just because it is. So, I like, Mel like Perth hats. Okay. My parents named me after the cartoon Josie and the Pussycats. Huh. Well, Trump 2024. What's up, Ben? Nice to see you. Going down that politics road again. Who wants to ride bikes or go for hikes? When did we get on the politics? I haven't talked about politics. But anyways, Safari excuses me, not Perth. Okay. Kenneth, okay. Oh, I see. Hey, you guys have who you support. I support whoever. I will support you in your decision, but I'm not voting this year. No, no, no. I would rather give a vote of no confidence. I do smoke sometimes packs, but often rolls his own. Desperate times, we will scavenge. Yeah, and here's something else. You can tell how society's doing by the cigarette butts you see on the ground. Okay, because when you walk into a gas station or you walk into like a Dollar General and stuff like that, and you're seeing 1/2 and 3/4 cigarettes that are on the ground, it's not that bad. It gets bad when the smokers aren't leaving those on the ground. Okay, now there's not as many as there used to be, so it's getting tight, but it ain't that bad yet. Look at the trash and the things that people throw away. Look at what it is that they're doing, and it'll tell you a lot of what's going on, not only in the community, but in society as a whole. Okay, so I don't know what happened to Ralph Nader. I agree, not wanting to get into politics. Yes. Juggalos, no. Gonna be a last gathering of juggalos this year or next. Oh, so you're a juggalo? Okay. I've met a few of you. So you're like into ICP, huh? Okay. ICP. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah. Okay, so my question with Tyke and Trailer is once I get into town, how do I keep it safe? Well, shopping. Go through small towns. Okay, don't go through the big towns. Avoid them. Go around them. You can. There's ways around it. It'll be a lot longer, but the smaller the like I like in the small towns, like a small town like this, I leave Sam here. I walk next door. She's tied up. Okay, if we were walking up to that Dollar General, this is a small enough town. There's probably maybe 500 to 1,000 people here. I'm not worried about somebody walking off with my dog or my bag. Now I get into a city with 10,000 to 30,000. Now I'm going to be a little bit more cautious. I'm going to move a lot more quicker. But the smaller the town, the better it is, because they keep an eye on stuff. They're not trying to do anything. Now, the smaller the town, the more hostile they may become towards you as well. Just because you have the roaming band of zombies that come in. So those must be okay. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. You're Yorny all the time. Love it. Okay. Those must be very ugly women, Mr. Tuck. I don't know. I meant letting men cry. Yeah. That is the modern women's lib movement. Okay? So one of the things that I've been learning is that the virginity, men are not losing their virginity until they're about 21 to 24. When I was in school, man, everybody was sleeping with each other. I was a late bloomer. Like, I lost mine when I was 19, but I wasn't really after all of that until like my junior year in high school. Up until that point in time, I was a nerd or a geek. I loved learning. I loved going to school. I was never one of those guys that always ran after and chased after women. And it's never bothered me. I'm okay with it because it's they have something that's called incel or involuntarily celibate. I'm not an incel because if I choose to go without it, it's because I choose, not because I can't get a girl. I've never had problems getting a girl when I wanted one. I just don't go seeking after them very often unless, something's going on. Like when I met my ex-wife, the reason why I met her, or the reason why I really stuck with her and went searching after her is because I was 27 years old. I hadn't been married yet. And within the Mormon church, if you're not married by the time you're 28, you're a disgrace. So I said, oh, time's running out. I better get that done, so on and so forth. So, but yeah, Chuck Norris doesn't cry. He scares the water out of his body. Yeah, that's true. I remember in the 90s, my dad took me to see Chuck Norris kick drugs out of America at a casino. Huh. Wow. I've never seen Chuck Norris other than watching, was it Walker, Texas Ranger? That's the only reason why I know who Chuck Norris is. But again, I was never into music. I was always into education, learning, and media. So my name, Alfred, is also Alf. Def came up. He ate cats. I see the double meaning there. Alien life form loves cats. I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay, I still have my Alf. Punky Brewster. Oh, really? Really? Yeah, I don't want to know about that. I actually had a crush on Punky Brewster at one point. Crazy enough as a kid to jump off 3-story barn with just a bed sheet as a parachute. Oh yeah. I remember at one point in time we were jumping off the 2nd-story balcony onto a trampoline. I'm so lucky I didn't break my back. So we could send him a roll of aluminum so he can make his own. No, I need tin foil, Jeremy. Get it right. Tin foil. Aluminum ain't gonna work. I need my tin foil. Yes, right there. All right, I want fancy one. Okay, bushcraft. Okay, I'm a juggalo. Just appreciate the culture. I can't play piano, but love live orchestra concert. Oh, okay. 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 Carry weapons when you go shopping. No. Well, I mean, I have my knife in my pocket at all times. So yeah, but no. Until it gets to that point, I'm not really. I'm trying to roll with the times and not jump the gun. So, wow. Well, that's a sign of the times, Melody. The thing is that there is so much polarization that men are giving up dating. There is a movement called MAGTOW, men going their own way, because men have gotten so fed up with women that they refuse to date. And now you have all these women going, where are all the good men? Where are all the good men? Well, you ran us off. That's what happened. So, okay, I freak most calf out when walking through the truck stop 30 miles from home because I and family open carry. Uh, uh, well, that's good. I mean, Scott open carries. I'm okay with that. I mean, it doesn't bother me. Again, I'm not one of those that's ever gonna probably end up owning one. Although I think it probably might be in my best interest to probably consider at least training on one. So if I ever get one put in my hands, I know how to use it properly. I mean, I learned how to use them as a kid, but like that's been 30 years ago. So, um, uh, I've met Chuck Norris through a friend in my church I went to. Oh, okay. That's cool. Now Tuck is going to burn through his battery bank looking at Punky Brewster porn. Jeremy, you know me too well, don't you? So, in the 1800s, aluminum was more valuable than gold because of how difficult it was to refine from ore. Yeah, and now it's cheaper than water. I'm armed all the time too. Makes it much easier to wear my backpack. Um, I don't know. See, I come from a society that was disarmed. I'm from Oregon. Oregon was disarmed by the mid 90s. Okay. By the time they passed Measure 11, Oregon was disarmed. Okay. We used to have fights and stuff like that. And that was when I stopped fighting, too. That was when my old man broke me a fight. And we were in Washington at Fort Lewis at the time. But like a couple of years later, I was right back in Oregon. And if I would have continued fighting the way I was, I would be a career convict. So, yeah, in Oregon, they basically made it so not only you could not defend yourself, but the criminals have more rights than you. The criminal is the victim, and so on and so forth. And it's just gone so far crazy. It's not even in touch with reality. And a lot of that came up in the early 2000s with the mass exodus from like the Bay Area and LA because of the daily shootings that they were having in Oakland and LA. So yeah, so the straps fall off if I don't have arms. Tuck, how about that RMJ tactical warhammer for self-defense? The that the meteor. Oh hell yeah! I gotta train with it, but yeah, that's essentially what I want to use, because I mean, if you know how to do guerrilla warfare, and you know how, and especially if you're used to trouncing around in the woods, so you got somebody that either doesn't know the woods or isn't used to trouncing around, it gives me an advantage to move around and to be at certain spots. So yeah, the war. Oh wait. Um, the Warhammer. Oh wait. Is that the? I'll have to go back and look at it, but I'm thinking of the meteor, not the Warhammer. But yeah, the Warhammer. I'm just wondering what its weight is on that though, and I need to be able. The reason why I like the meteor is because it's on a string, which means I can use it like a whip. I don't have to go and grab it. I pull it right back towards me, and therefore I have unlimited uses of it until that string breaks. Okay, and that's gonna be my Achilles heel there. So okay, let's go up here. Okay, dad joke alert. Okay, Jeremy hasn't seen it yet. Okay. Butterfly, very true. Look at hardcore hammers too. Shoot, we used to airsoft to teach grandkids at 4 about weapons and how to use it safely. Well, we weren't that smart when I was a kid. We used to sit there and say, okay, I think it was, you got either 10 or 20 pumps on a BB gun, and you had 5 seconds to run, and then my cousins would take turns shooting well, when it was my turn, they'd take turns shooting at me, and I'd take turns shooting at them. That was what we did as kids, out on my grandfather's property. Hatchet weight. let me get back to you on that with on Patreon, Alfred. I want to I want to take another look at it. I looked at it, but I was just kind of skimming over it because usually after this, I'm trying to wind down, get to bed, all that stuff. Has anybody ever stole my book bag when I was in school? Oh yeah, that's yeah, I had that happen. Kids would steal my stuff. I got so good on my feet because kids would try and trip me that I learned how to stay on my feet. And so that's like a hidden talent that I have that most people don't know. So only $700 for that Warhammer. Holy wow, that's a lot. So I know I still have BBs from my lessons as a kid. Yeah, yeah, the BB guns was always fun. So, but it is what it is. Wow, you guys have really kept chat going, and it's been actually kind of quiet tonight. I don't know if you guys like it, but I'm kind of liking it. It's been a very easy conversation. Mini crossbow and slingshot for range. Yeah, but the slingshot, you need to keep refilling it, so that either you need to carry your ammo with you, or like with the meteor, it's attached to it. So it's just you throw it. It's the same thing as like the what is it the David sling. So he had a rock in his sling, and he kind of used it like a slingshot, but he also used it like the meteor, because I think that's where the idea comes from. And so that's kind of why I'm like, okay, well, I mean, if he took down Goliath with it, I should be able to too. So, okay, bushcraft, I know it's a paycheck, but you can pass it to grandkids. I carry a mini crossbow and slingshot for range. I also carry a taser spray. Damn, dude, nobody wants to mess with you. You will put them in pain for months or years. You might psychologically scar somebody to where they might actually straighten up and become a decent human being. We can't have that. This is America. Okay, Tuck out there with a towel. Okay. Thank you for the answer. Okay. I never had to use it, but when I was sleeping rough and would bust panhandle, I would often sleep with loads of pennies in a thick sock. Huh. So, but anyways, okay, I have all this stuff. Also, the meteor is a rip on Asia weapon. Cute teenager Asian chick used version of it. Okay. Yeah, get one shot to take me down. After that, I take you. Yeah, in Kill Bill 2. Okay. I carry one of my Phobos knives. I have a couple of nice EDC fixes. Bushcraft really, he has a nice, he knows his knives. The only person I know that knows knives as good, if not, or maybe even better than him, is my buddy Paul, but that's because he's a smithy and he likes to make custom knives. So, all right. So does anybody have any pressing questions, anything that they want to know about trail? Let me kind of go over the itinerary for the next couple of days, what I'm planning on doing. So tomorrow's supposed to be about 90, 91, which I expected, because it's been coming. The weather's been underperforming. Now in the direct sun, it's going to be hard, but I'm gonna fill up the was it the saddlebag, not the saddlebag, the bladder. I'm going to put probably about 3 liters of water in that, plus fill up my water bottles, so that Sam and I can make it through a day if we don't get to another place of water. Now, there's supposed to be water along the way, but with as hot as it's been, I don't know if it's just a creek bed or if, because the river that we crossed not too long ago, that really wasn't, I don't know, I'm spoiled by creeks. So, as far as that goes, we're going to be on the move tomorrow. We're going to move as much as we can. Saturday is the heat wave is over. And then on Sunday, everything should be down to normal. And it's going to start dropping down into the mid 80s, which means Sam and I can go back to our regularly scheduled walks. I'm going to try and make a few extra miles a day. That's going to be a big thing for us, is doing that. So on Monday, I am supposed to be doing a live stream with All American Prepper. He's going to be hosting it, but we're going to do a go live together, and so that way people can see his channel and my channel, and You know, it may bring subscribers, but we kind of have a common interest. We're gonna talk about some subject. We really haven't gotten the details down other than a time because we've both been wanting to do a live stream together. So uh, um, yeah. Wow, you were in Waycross. I was in Waycross in November. That's when I burned the shit out of my hand. So, hold on, let me go back up here. Um, uh, get good with a monkey fist. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay. I'm sorry. Sorry, I've been through a lot, and I'm a woman, not going to be able to take care of self ever again. Well, no, you're good. That's a good thing. You want, um, oh, you want that chastity belt to have teeth. We'll just say it that way. Okay. So, you know, that's your teeth. And so, you know, you're more power to you. I hope more women do what you do because look, I mean, women, they have their vulnerabilities and all that other stuff. One of the things that still haunts me because I couldn't do anything about it was being in Denver. This young girl, I know she went after the bad boy, thought she'd go be cool and hang out with him, didn't realize what was going on. And then, you know, and she was being, she had something happen to her and she was being tracked by three guys. And it's like, I wanted to get involved, but I didn't know what was going on, and if you don't know what's going on, don't put your business, your nose in other people's business. This is why, as a father, you should always teach your girls not to take risks, to avoid the bad boys, to avoid the guys that are kind of a little shady, to be able to see those character flaws, because over the next few years, that's going to be extremely, extremely important if you've got daughters. Okay. I think that's the best advice I can give you if you're a father or a mother of daughters, or you're a parent of girls, is that over the next few years, you are definitely going to have to make sure that your daughters are able to read people better than me. Okay. Get them used to it. Get them to understand and discern. People they don't realize it, but their clothes, their mannerisms, their posture, everything gives away their content of character. And if you start looking at patterns and similarities, then you'll be able to notice, you know, all Chads act the same, all Jims act the same, all Melanies act the same. You know, they have it's a harmonic resonance, and there's a lot of things that help determine your personality, and your name goes along with it, along with the clothes in which you wear. I mean, the goth kids wear black. Okay, the jocks are, you know, always wearing sports clothes. Okay, it's part of the crowd. It's part of the subconscious tribalism that we don't realize that we have. Okay, okay. Yes, I asked what weapon you would use if no gun available. Yeah, I want something like a meteor, something that I can toss and still keep using, because, you know, you got to think about, like, if you're carrying like a slingshot. Yeah, I already talked about that. So shepherd slings, lots of fun, and a great paracord project. Yes, my Paul was even telling me that I could turn my, he said I'd need 200 feet of paracord to make it. But to do something like that, and he said it would be just as good. I've got 100 feet, and I don't want to use it on that. I may just make a special purchase to do that, but I don't want to use because Scott gave me 100 feet of paracord, and I'm not cutting it up or breaking it up because I don't know what I'm going to use it on, and I need to have it fully intact. Okay, so Jeremy, funny thing that those are illegal here, huh? You had on that would fit in your fist, I saw. Oh, that was my butt plug. But the thing is if you guys remember, see this? That's what happened. The safety sucked, and it went like a half an inch in. So, next time you're close to Waycross, Georgia, will you come and see me? Yeah, if I ever come down through Georgia, which I don't know if we will. If we go through Waycross, that would mean that we're going through the Pinhoti, or something like that. But yeah, if I'll definitely come see you, Fruity Pebbles. So But I thought you wanted to come out and see me. So, won't be able to be here tomorrow. Have to spend day in town. Okay. Totally enjoy being here. Thank you. I'm glad you. Hey, I'm glad every one of you guys are here. You guys, this is family. You're my core group. We need to grow this. We need to grow this live stream. But you guys are my foundation. So, okay, that's a bird. Have you been seeing and using any wild edibles? Not since I started. Because I mean, we've been here. I haven't had a chance to move in since we got here Monday night, and it's what, Thursday night now, so 4 days. When the next time we get in the woods will probably be about 100 miles from now, so that's going to be interesting. Butterfly spirit, but I mean, yeah, there's stuff around here, but they mow the grass, so we'll be here waiting on your return. Yes. Okay, we'll miss you. Melody, thanks. Most of my disabilities are because of that as a kid. Women have to be okay to take care of themselves. Well, if you're telling a man you don't need him, pay my bills, yeah, you better be taking care of yourself. But there are women out there that are like, they understand the male-female dynamic, that there's a duality, that both complement each other, and they're there to assist each other. And in the way that a man has the ability to protect a woman has the ability to help a man process his emotions, or at least process the things that are going on, and make sure that his well-being is taken care of. So there is, I had a girl that I dated that would tell me that in the Native America, the way the women thought was, you have to give a man a reason to protect you. You can't just expect it. And so that was her whole philosophy while we were dating. She really sucked at it, but at least she gave it a try. So, okay, women have, okay, sad butterfly, right? Just watch your patterns video. I hear you. Okay, I'm autistic. We usually give off dodgy vibes and mannerisms, and people often misread intentions. My best friend is autistic. I love autistic people. My favorite comedian, AJ Wilkerson, he is autistic. Honestly, he's now my favorite comedian. I don't see the autistics as socially awkward. I think that's why Paul and I get along so well, is because I can accept it, even the scary stuff that goes on with him, because he's a human being. He's no different than me. He has his own challenges, but and quite frankly, I like the fact that autistics are so blunt, direct. You will never have to guess where you're at and where you stand if you are hanging around an autistic person. Okay, that is one of the best things that I think, being around autistic people. But honestly, yeah, I'm one of those that if when I come across autistic people, those end up becoming my best friends because they're the coolest people ever. So, but it is what it is. Okay, boomerang. Okay. Okay, Grandes carry lots of grenades. Okay. Only two. Okay. Tuck, make sure it's a hardwood stick you bite down on. Stay away from softwoods. You don't want to. Yeah, I don't want any splinters. So, Tuck, I'm dipping, but try to rough plan a mailbox first. Yes, I will. I will definitely do that. I don't know what is up with my YouTube, but I'm only showing 1 like, and that is me. No, there's 12 likes. So take care, Alfred. Okay, yes, totally agree. Totally tread wife, and yes, I agree, but men aren't always there. Well, you got to realize the men that you date were raised by women. Okay, so this is something that has to, I mean, at some point, my mom raised me, my grandma raised me, my dad wasn't in my life until I was until he really wasn't. He was either gone in the field, deployed, whatever, and it wasn't even like the last couple of years of high school was the only time I saw my old man. I mean, he had an impact in my life, and if I hadn't have gone to live with him when I did, I probably would have been one of those effeminate emo kids that would have been a complete emotional wreck. So having my father in the mix made a big difference in my life as far as balancing me out, even though it was later on in life. But I will tell you that it is because women have always had the custody. It's the women. And here's the thing, it's like the flaws that my mom taught me is like, put all women on a pedestal. No, that's why nice guys finish last, is all these women that were, dating these bad men took their boys, and then they completely disarmed them and actually gave them, there's actually studies showing that if you were raised by a woman, that your dating life is much harder because your mom taught you unrealistic expectations of women in the intent of trying to fix what was going wrong. So, okay, refresh my net. It's not says 12. Okay, I think my chat got deleted. Call YouTube wimp. Carry 5 liters of water and add ice. Don't pass away from dehydration. I'm not. I promise I won't. I'm very good at hydration after being in the South, especially doing the Florida Trail. I know a lot about hydration, more than I would have otherwise. Do you cook meals when on trail? If I'm not exhausted and too hot, yes. I like to cook, and that's part of the thing with Sam, is she slows me down enough. Uncle said I shouldn't set off to meet a man off the internet before letting the family meet him first, so I guess I'll wait potentially till you make it back down my way. Okay. Fruity, send me an email, okay? And well, this will be more of a private conversation. I don't want to have this public, but yeah, send me an email, or you can meet me through Messenger or whatever. But yeah, friartuck@hobotuck.com. So I'm married to same man, only 30 years, just to say on property alone a lot. Well, congratulations, same man for 30 years. That's rare. Considering that, what is it, like 70-80% of divorces are initiated by women. The fact that, that's really good. So I was not allowed to date until they spoke with my dad first. That is traditional ways. I actually asked my ex-wife's father for her hand in marriage. And we both agreed to it. I wanted to do it, and she wanted me to do it because she wanted some tradition. But yeah, so it looks like you're meeting Butterfly Spirit Family. Yes. Okay. Hi, Tuck. Hope you enjoy yourself. Okay. I'm definitely hope you're enjoying myself. Yes, I love these live streams. This is how I keep my sanity. Honestly, you guys are my sanity. You guys make my day the way it is. So, but do you have tea candles? Good starting wood stove. Who? I think it was Jeremy that sent me candles. I have candles with some electrical tape around it. I haven't really had time to like sit back and really reorganize my bag. I probably won't reorganize my bag until we get to Parkersburg. So, set fire back from my run. If didn't run and have 420, I'd go mad. Yeah, I could definitely see that. But Cherokee, I won't run. No. I'd rather walk. Walking is much better. I can do more and all that other stuff. Alfred Rock. Okay. Set fire. Okay, yeah. Your live stream gives me sanity. Good. Wrong cut and paste. Okay. Right melody. Okay. But okay, guys, I've got like 8% bet. How much further till your destination? I'm halfway through. I'm 200 miles in. Okay, I got another 200 miles to make it to Parkersburg, the spur for Parkersburg. Maybe 220 miles. At least 120 of it is going to be on the road. The other 80 of it will probably be like a 4 or 5 day trance. Okay, so but that's that. So I'll be at peace soon enough when I leave Canada. I'm getting clearanswer.com Monday. Okay. The container has candles. Candles and fire starters, lighter in it. Oh, I didn't see the lighter. I saw the candles. The tail is Gorilla Tape, clear patch tape. Okay, that's okay. I was thinking it was electric. It was. I knew it was tape. I just didn't know what kind it was. Furthest you've walked. So last year I did, out of the 1,500 miles on the Florida Trail, I did about 900 to 1,000 of that. because I started north of the Everglades. I did not want to do that walk, but yeah, I did. I did about 1,000 miles of that. I did another 200 miles on the so I did about 1,500 miles last year on trail. Before 15, maybe 1,700 miles tops. Tops 17. But that's about what I did last year. And so if I complete this trail, this will be the longest trail that I've ever been on. So or that I've completed. But the if I would have completed the ECT like I wanted to, it's as long as this trail. It goes from the Keys all the way into the AT International. So I switched to a small wood burning stove from gas recently. Don't think I'll ever go back as long as I'm camping in a wood. Yeah, the ember light that Alfred sent me was absolutely amazing. I wish I could have done live chats when I was doing my 10-year tour. Would have been a game changer. Yeah, I probably would have. But you know what? You can do it now. So, are you on top of your game with water for Sam and you? Yes, we're both properly hydrated. I am actually, for the first time since we've been out on trail, I'm actually pissing clear instead of golden yellow. So, there's two things you need to watch your hydration. Your digestive system is about 1 to 2 days in the rears. So, what you do today, you won't be able to see results for it for about 48 hours. But your bowels should be like a light color. The darker it is, the more dehydrated it is. Also, when you urinate, the more golden is. That's the more concentrate. Basically, it could turn toxic to your kidneys. That's when you need to hydrate. But if you overhydrate, then you'll give yourself a sense of false hydration, which that happened a few days ago, and that's why I fixed that. So, for lighting fuel, yes. Okay? Rubbing alcohol also. Well, I've got plenty of fuel out here in the forest. My only worry is when it gets wet because I'm still not skilled at starting a wet fire. He shouldn't have trouble starting fires with the fire kit I sent him. Correct. Have a good night. Okay. Take care. Okay. In the state, you're going to legal 420. When it's legal here it's legal here in Ohio, but the dispensaries won't be approved until August, and their first day will be September. Okay, so the next time I can go to a dispensary won't be once we get to Parkersburg, because in DC it's legal. So we should be able to get it in DC, no problem, because they legalized it there. So I don't think that will be an issue once I get to DC. But right now, until I get through maybe Parkersburg, I might be able to find some. But also when I go through West Virginia, I'm sure I'll be able to find it. It'll be street value. It won't be the I won't be able to go to a dispensary and know exactly what I'm getting. So yes, I'm on Facebook. I will. What is 420? That's weed, Melody. I'm a stoner. So, but yeah, yes, I'm on Facebook, Fruity. You can find, you can actually messenger me through the channel page. It's called the Epoch of Friar Tuck over. It's a channel page. You can do that there with me because I don't actually use my personal Facebook. It's there for family, if I need to communicate to them. But anything I do on Facebook is going to be through my page. But like I said, once you email me, I'll send you a link to where for like Messenger or something like that, and we'll go from there. So, but all right, guys, you guys have a great rest of your night. I will see you tomorrow night, unless I'm either out of signal or something went sideways. But again, if you guys haven't heard from me in 3 days, those of you that have my contact information, send out a search party. Well, actually, no. If you haven't heard from me in 3 days, get concerned. If you don't hear from me in another 3 days, then send out a search party. So I know you're a pothead. I just didn't know what 420 was. Yeah, it's in reference to Kent State. So, and you're old enough to remember that, Melody. So, all right. All right, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for being here.